Hello and welcome to the full breakdown to Nilah for this current season. We'll talk about abilities, we'll talk about combos, items and everything you need to know to play this champion to the best possible level. Let's talk about her abilities first. Her passive is called Joy Unending. If you crit an enemy, you heal yourself for 20% of the damage dealt and the excess healing is turned into a shield. That much is pretty interesting, especially considering that you go for specific crit itemization and overall just get more free vamp on top. The first ability is called Formless Blade. Having this ability turns 35% of your crit chance into armor pen, which is really absurd if you think about having this plus Lord Dominic's regards. You get up to, I think, 65% pen. It's quite a lot. Not only that, if you have this and cast this, which is a whiplash, you will gain attack speed, your auto attacks will cleave in a cone, and the bonus damage of this ability will be increased by 1% for every percent of crit chance you have. The second ability is called Jubilant Veil. This is basically like even more annoying than a Jax E. You turn this on, then you envelop yourself into mist, and for 1.75 seconds, you gain movement speed, and the magic damage taken, is reduced by 25%, and you become immune to all other attacks apart from turrets. So yeah, enjoy beating up some people as you run through them, and not only that, your ally, like the closest ally to you, also gains this effect. And the Veil's duration is increased by 1 second on you if there's an ally close to you. This is quite a crazy combo, right? Now we come to something that many people might not understand, which is her third ability, the Slipstream. It's basically just a dash forward, right? You dash forward and you deal damage. However, every 10 seconds, your dash instantly resets if you hit an enemy champion or an enemy unit. Now, as you cast this ability, you can also use your first ability at the same time, which makes up for the most broken Nilah combo, which I'll show you in a few minutes, okay? Because you work with auto attack cancels, you work with the bonus damage, and it's just a quick combo which literally obliterates people. And her ultimate is called Apotheosis. You deal damage over time, like over 1 second, and as you get towards the end, you drag all people together. While this happens, the damage you deal by this ability, like the damage over 1 second, and at the end, will all heal you and your allies, and grant you shielding. Cool, right? So now, let's get into the game, and take a look how this champion works, what you do with it, and generally, okay? Quick description, you will start with your first ability on level 1, on level 2, you'll have your third ability, then on level 3 you have your W, and then you max your Q, then I believe it's going to be your E, and then your W last. And obviously every time you can, you put a point into your ult. What you gain from leveling W, as you see, you gain 1 second of cooldown reduction every time you level it, which is kind of pointless, right? Here you also gain only cooldown reduction, but it's a lot more. And in combination to that one, you deal more base damage. For Formless Blade, you just have way more damage, right? As you skill it, the ratio increases and the base damage increases. And obviously the passive you have at all times. Now, let's quickly get some money and skill the rest of these things here. Okay, when it comes to items, we will start with these Berserker Grease. We want to be fast, we want to walk around, and we are like a melee champion. We need to get close to get things done, therefore we want to have more movement speed. The bonus attack speed is just pretty nice. Alternatively, you can think of going for these Vamp boots because they have more AD and Vamp at the same time, or you just go straight up for defensive boots. If you're facing full physical compositions, these boots will be absolutely broken. Now for your first items. You can never guess it. We will start with Immortal Shield Bow. Yeah? We want Immortal Shield Bow for the following reasons: that our champion is a melee champion and needs to go close. Therefore we want the extra tankiness and sustain from that item and the shield. Now, take a good look. We bought one item and we gained 9% armor pen. 9. Now for our next item, we will go for Bloodthirster. Okay, let's continue this. So now we have 18% armor pen, 210 AD, which is obviously we are not at the level we should be, but we have 18% physical vamp, 18% armor pen, we haven't stacked any rune, we only have vampirism or vamp from these two items. Now think about the following. After an attack crits, you heal yourself for 20% of the damage dealt. An excess healing is turned into a shield. What does this item provide you with? another shield. So let's put this one into perspective, shall we?
My epic will be long and joyous.
This is 100 armor and we are getting a shield slowly, right? We just got a shield gifted to us. Now for the biggest spike, like the biggest spike in damage in terms of fighting bruisers or tanks, will be our third item, which will be Lord Dominic's Regards. Look at our armor pen. We have 57% now. 57! You have 3 items and you negate the biggest portion of the enemy's armor. Well, at the same time, you grant yourself more crit and more sustain. It's lovely, isn't it? Now, to top out this build, you just go for Infinity Edge. And the most lovely thing is, if you're not facing, if you're facing squishy champions, you can just go for Infinity Edge here, and you have 27% pen, which is literally a Lord Dominic's Regards, nearly fully stacked, instantly on 3 items, without even building it. And then afterwards, you go for Lord Doms. Look at your pen, it's 65. You have 65 pen and 80 vamp. Look at this.
No adversary is too powerful for me.
Look at this. Look at the shield. You have 26% vamp plus the crit vamp, because you did damage and heal for it, right? And now for our last gimmick, like the secret sauce. If you're facing AP champions, right, that might burst you, we go for Spirit Visage. Because now look at the shield again. The shield grows larger, right? It's bigger. Interesting, right? We're even tankier. 2500 HP. A shielding of around 1000 HP. Plus another shield from this year, which is, you know, just casually another 500 plus plus the Spirit Visage conversion, which then turns 500 into 650. So right now we have 2488 HP plus 1000 shielding plus another 600 500 shielding, which is a voila, more than 4000 effective HP, not even factoring in our resistances. 100 armor at this point is 50% damage reduction, magic resistance also 50% damage reduction. Our HP bar will then probably be 4000 HP, like plus the shielding. Then we have to factor in damage mitigation and think about how much damage we need to take to die, as we only take 50% damage of the number we're seeing. You will not die. Alternatively, there's a secret. So, there is a secret about things that you probably don't know yet. So, Kirks, why are you building an armor pen item at the very last item? It doesn't make sense, does it, right? It's just 15 pen. However, it's 15 pen, which is flat pen, it's movement speed and attack speed. And now, since you're running sudden impact, we have 28 max pen. 28 flat pen plus 65% pen. With this, we'll deal even more damage to people that are squishy. So for your last item, you have complete freedom. You can dip into a lethality item as you please. You can even build a Sheen item with Trinity Force. You can build any defensive item you can possibly think of, just to, not this one, just to gain even more tankiness. It literally doesn't matter. And you probably stay away from this item here. It doesn't do anything for you because you need to survive the early game. Because you mentioned the early game issues, and the early game issues are tackled with these 2 items, right? You're a melee champion and you need to get close. Therefore you'll take damage and need to survive. You need to sustain, you need to have proper HP bars. So these 2 items, these 2 your first of your items, will grant you the tankiness you need. Alternatively, I said earlier, you can go for other boots, which grant you even more tankiness. It's up to you. Now with all these last items, let's just, I don't know, let's settle for Essence Reaver because, yeah, we now deal 30% bonus damage, like look. A quick slap into the face. However, now let's go for the ability rundown. Remember my abilities. Let's just do it properly here.
Master one evil,
you see, I hit them, I gain an extra shield, which is from my items, and my passive. I use my ability here. Now I hit all of these at the same time. This is my first ability. After I cast it, I gain an AoE auto attack. This also, by the way, is the perfect cooldown. It has 4 seconds cooldown, like less now, but the base cooldown is 4 seconds even if you have no cooldown reduction, and will apply or key or stay active for 4 seconds. So you can just spam it on cooldown, which means you have a constant 60% attack speed steroid at all times, bonus attack speed, bonus attack range, and deal your entirety of the physical damage in an AoE cone in front of you, as you see. Okay. Now let's talk about
Bliss in life and bliss
your second
forever
ability,
after.
right? I said that if you have your second ability, that you'll give your ally also the second ability. Take a good look. You see? Your ally also gets the second ability, whatever you do. Doing this will extend the duration also by 1 second. It's just super neat to have, and you can save your ally when they're about to get all in. Like, let's say an assassin wants to do something or something hits you, and you can just press this button and say, nope, not gonna happen.
River of fate.
Now we come to her interesting spell. Let me quickly remove the ally dummy so it doesn't annoy us. Be gone. Okay. Okay. Take a good look at my third abilities button, okay? Take a very good look. Do you see? Number 1, my first ability shows up as I cast the third ability. And on top of that, my third ability is instantly reset. This happens every 10 seconds where you can just do this. So,
I need only 3 weapons.
for your combo,
Water,
the most important combo on your champion in terms of damage, you auto attack instantly and go back again. So, in sequence, it's auto attack, third ability again, auto attack, third ability again. This is the highest damage combo and the fastest. So, we'll do it again. You see how much damage that is? And how fast it is? You just disappear. Now we talk about her ultimate ability. So.
Rage in your prison, demon. I am in control.
All of you know Orianna, right? You press your ultimate and pull things together. It's the same here, right? You pull them together. The thing about this ability though is, take a good look at my other spells as I cast it. I can't cast my third, nor can I cast my first. I can only cast my second ability. So take a good look. I can't do anything, right?
I will
and I also can't auto attack, so I can't do anything. However, what you can do, towards the end of your ultimate ability, you can just flash it in. With flashing it in, you deal a lot of bonus damage and catch people off guard, potentially. And then afterwards, you can go for your typical combo again, which is auto attack and back again. You see? Auto attack, third ability, auto attack, third ability, auto attack. Boom. Explosion. Everyone is dead. And now I'll show you something very funny when it comes to healing, okay?
All I feel is joy. It is.
Where's my ally? I need an ally. Okay. I'll take a little bit of damage here, right? Oh my god, I'm dying. Take another one.
I need only
Reset my cooldowns.
water.
Take a look at my HP bar. Look. I'm full HP. I just healed for 1 billion and added a shield on top. And I shielded my ally as well. Now, what happens if there are more allies? What happens if there are more allies around me and this is an entire demonic fight? Okay, let's take a look. All my teammates got a shield. And don't forget, they have 10,000 HP or something, so the shield doesn't even look that big on them, but it's actually enormous. Yeah? You see the problem of this champion?
No god, no devil.
Now that we've talked about abilities and such, and we tackled the most important combo, I can give you, let's do a jungle clear, okay? Let's do a jungle clear. So we'll start with a croc clear here. And as you see, my first ability will be up again. almost instantly. Barely any downtime. Kiting the camp, typical. Clearing it instantly. Moving over to the next camp. Doing the same thing again. We're decently fast so far. For jungling, we'll not put a point into our W because it doesn't do anything. This clear isn't optimized at all, so...
Master one evil, then destroy the rest.
But as you see, she clears relatively fast, right?
Such happiness!
As you see, pretty easy, pretty fast. Let's see when we complete our full clear here.
It is difficult.
153, we complete our full clear from red to blue. Now we'll do the clear from the other way around. Like, auto-attack Q, instant cancel, kite this mob. Make sure you don't take too much damage. Auto-attack cancel again.
Rage in your prison, demon. I am in control.
Do it again. Very important to always do this. Kite it towards the next camp. Or you can even go over walls like this, okay. Luckily, no accident happened, right?
I need only 3 weapons. Water, muscle, mind.
Clearing the jungle.
Demon, obey me.
Oh, misplay. I lost a lot of seconds here. So we can say -2 seconds because I griefed.
Joy has found you. With speed.
So 151, like, because I griefed at red buff, I say 151. Like, realistically speaking, 151, 150. 150, like 150 to like 151 is blue to Krug full clear. Yeah? Realistically speaking.
I will double
okay.
giants.
Now let's talk about item builds. For Nilah, being on the map and having movement speed is very important, right? So these boots will allow you to be fast enough, plus adding like a lot of extra attack speed in combination with your already first ability and your shield bow. Now, the primary issue of your champion is surviving, because you have to go in. Now with this in mind, going in, what helps you even more? Sustain. Now with your champion scaling as it does, we want more vampirism, more vamp, more survivability. Therefore we go for the first 2 items here, which is shield bow into bloodthirster. 25% crit will award you with 8.75% armor pen as previously shown. In game it's rounded up to 9%, therefore on 2 items which have vamp you'll have 18% pen. 18% pen, 50% crit, and a lot of vamp. How much vamp is it here right now? 12 plus 5, right? Yeah, it's 17% vamp, and then if you crit, 20% of that damage is also turned into either a shield or into healing. Now afterwards, if you're facing tanks, you will complete Lord Dominic's Regards, having more pen, as even shown before in the client, how much pen it actually grants you. Like on 3rd items, I think it was about 55% you will have at that point, which is kind of crazy. Now next. You can obviously exchange the LDR at that point and go for an Infinity Edge, because if the enemy team doesn't have enough armor, and everything will be fine for you. You just burst them away. Now for your last item, it's completely adaptable of like whatever you want, right? You can have Spirit Visage, because Spirit Visage would empower the Vamp you already have, plus the shielding on top, plus the HP, plus the magic resist, and the only realistic way of you dying are mages anyway, right? Like, you get bursted by assassins or mages. Against mages, this is the one-stop fix, you'll be immortal. Alternatively, you can think about more damage. What other items come to mind? Trinity Force for its Sheen proc. You can even think about building a gauntlet, right? Technically speaking, just to be tankier, you know? Another option would be Black Cleaver for more penetration, more AD, more tankiness, more haste. Otherwise, an item such as Guardian Angel is very helpful. You just have a second life. And if you want to be a big baller, you can combine Yumo's Ghostblade if you have sudden impact in your second rune tree. This will grant you 13 plus 15 pen, and therefore you have 28 pen, plus in the super late game 65% pen. Which means any squishy you face will be taking true damage from you. You instantly kill her. For runes. As you stick inside of a fight for so long and have so much damage, I believe Conqueror is most likely the best choice for you. You know, you don't need more attack speed. More AD is just more beneficial. With this, you gain 12 to 36 bonus AD. Your next room, as you're auto-attacking a lot and you're very dominant, what about Brutal? You just beat up people and life is good. Another 12 to 19 bonus adaptive damage on hit is quite cool. Alternatively, you can think about Gathering Storm, but honestly, not really that good on AD champions. The next rune would be Giant Slayer. You will constantly be topped off on health. This is the idea, right? So Last Stand isn't really applicable to you. So Giant Slayer is generally the best choice if the enemy champions will have HP. This rune grants you up to 14% and it scales by 1% by every 50 HP the enemy gains. So Ruby Crystal, which is 150 HP, grants you 3% bonus damage. Alternatively, you can have Coup de Grace, which is then 7% bonus damage if the enemy is low, but it's a condition, right? And most likely you're going to hit people that are tanky, and therefore this is the best choice. The next choices you have available are Legend Alacrity, Tenacity, and Bloodline. Alacrity is not really needed as you gain enough attack speed from your items and your passive into your first ability. Legend Tenacity is situational into heavy CC teams as Mercury Threats don't grant Tenacity anymore, and Legend Bloodline will be your default as you gain more Vamp, because this champion wants Vamp on all items and as much as possible. As I said before, Sudden Impact is a solid choice if you want to get some more extra lethality or armor pen and deal extra damage to an enemy. However, it's not set in stone. You can also think about other other runes, which in this instance, for example, could be Revitalize. This would increase the healing and shielding effects even further and make you literally immortal, especially if you play into AP champions, which then synergizes pretty well with your Spirit Visage later on. You literally cannot die. Okay, this would be laning Nilah. Laning Nilah. The thing about Navori, you don't need it. Where would you put it? That's the issue. You don't need the cooldowns. You have enough cooldown reduction as it is. You just need to survive and then kill people with auto attacks. That's enough. Jungle Nilah. I, from my side, probably would prefer Vamp Boots in jungle. Yeah. And then we go for something that you probably won't guess, right? We will go for an item which is usually an assassin item. This here. Many people will say collector, 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 but this item grants us 15 bonus AD and more armor pen, which then in combination, well, not more armor pen because crit conversion, but it grants us mobility on the map and overall just more damage potential. And collector doesn't really scale. I just hate collector. I mean, technically speaking, you could do this here, like do this collector here. Collector grants you 10 flat armor pen and 8.75% armor pen. But the 80 differential is pretty high. I don't like it at all. The build path blows, and yeah, with Yomos you'll have just a way stronger early game. And you can snowball the game, which then would be the idea behind this, right? Snowballing. Once we have this, now we need to think about survivability, because we are still kind of squishy, you know? Honestly, I would then just go for the same items which we played for the laning build, right? We would just go this, would go this, and where is it? Where is my lovely Lord Doms? Come on, where are you? Am I blind or what's going on? There it is. Okay, now we'll go for the same again. The idea behind this build is snowballing early. With just Yomu's Ghostblade and Sudden Impact, we have 28 pen, flat pen, plus mobility, and since we are a melee champion, we might struggle to get into range, and a lot of raw AD. These boots are 30 AD plus 55, which is 85 AD, which is a lot of burst damage if you consider how fast we can deal damage. And since crit is unreliable in the early stages of the game, as crit is literally RNG, you might crit or might not crit, this provides you probably the most consistent transition in the jungle role. However, you can still die, which is kind of a problem, you know? And dying is kind of awful. So even for the jungle role, in a realistic scenario, you would still probably, yeah? You would still go for the same build. You might just exchange the boots for another type of boot. And if the boot isn't an offensive boot, like that grants you AD or attack speed, you would not complete them first, right? And then later on, you would go for any defensive item you can think of, similar to the other build. Like, again, you would have items such as Spirit Visage, Trinity Force, GA, Essence Reaver, like, this could be anything. Like, you know, anything you need. And then we look at this build. Everything past Lord Doms is basically situational. And the main differential, or the main difference between the laning and jungling Nilah build would be you starting with Vamp Boots, transitioning into most, like, probably a Yomu's Ghostblade, and then going for the same items as you would go for the other one as well. And for the lane build, to quickly just, you know, give you the comparison, you start with attack speed boots, which you can also change up for other boots into double vamp, IE, or LDR, and then the other one you didn't build yet, and then, again, any item you can think of. I can probably put this one here too. So yeah, that's basically all there is to Nilah. And yeah, that's it.